You probably clicked on this video because you have a good build, but you don't have the VC to upgrade it. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the most effective and efficient VC method in NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Watch the entire video because I'm going to show you how to set up the method, how to do the method, and how much VC you could be making. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to show you how to set up the method. So this method actually takes place in the WNBA, which is kind of underrated because you can make so much VC in a short amount of time. So I'm actually going through this process step by step for the first time, so what you're seeing on screen is exactly what you'll be doing when you first boot up this method. All this stuff really doesn't matter. In the end, you're just making a build and that build is going to get you VC. That build doesn't have to be anything special. The name, the position, the handedness, all that stuff does not matter at all. Name, OP, this method is OP, so I wanted to give a little shout out to the method. The good thing about the WNBA builder is that you just select an archetype, choose your takeovers, and that's how you make the build. So all this stuff, perfectly fine for any sort of VC making in this game mode. This message always happens no matter what. Any player you make, you're going to have this conversation with Onyeka. So if you hold A or X, depending on what console you are, you'll just skip through that message. So for the actual setup, you want to click B or circle and go down to options. Game difficulty really doesn't matter, but I like to put it on Hall of Fame 12-minute quarters. And for the action replays and all that other stuff, I just like to turn those off because I feel like that little time save adds up over a whole season. A WNBA season is 36 games, and a couple of seconds each game adds up over that 36 game season. We're a starter, but right now we have to worry about this mandatory scrimmage. It is one 12-minute quarter game, so it's only 12 minutes long. And it's really boring, but it has to be played. If you want, you could just stand out of bounds for the entire game and be on your phone, because it's really boring and I don't recommend playing it like an actual scrimmage, or else it's going to take more time. Now for the final step of the setup, we want to sim through this entire season. Like I showed you before, we are a starter, which means every single time we get into a game, we are going to walk through the pregame tunnel and go to a shoot around. And that shoot around takes up too much time, and it takes away the capability of making as much VC as possible. So simming all the way through the season, you eliminate that shoot around animation, that shoot around time altogether, and you just start on the bench. And the good thing about the playoffs is you don't have to play through a single game, you can just simulate straight through it. What I recommend for this free agency, I recommend you sign with the same team you started this file with. So for me, it would be the Las Vegas Aces. And for this offseason schedule, we have 182 days remaining, which seems like a lot based on the events in front of us. But these events are the shortest, so if you press RB or R1 once, you will get to the longest event, which is signing with a Chinese team, but it doesn't actually sign you with the Chinese team. You instead make a shoe, and what I recommend you do, just choose Adidas and choose the Dame 5. Just spam through this because all this stuff really doesn't matter. You want to get through this setup as fast as possible so you can make the most VC in the shortest amount of time. Now that the offseason has been simmed through, our levels go up, but all that stuff does not matter. What the important part is if we go down to our team influence, you can finally see that we are now on the bench. This saves us so much time because we don't have to go through the shoot around animation every single game, and that probably saves us around 30 seconds to a minute each time we load into a new game. Now is actually time for the method. The setup is very important, that's why I went kind of in depth into it. But we can skip through that beginning sequence by holding A or X. And now we start off on the bench and we sub in, and the method is super easy. All you have to do is foul out. On Xbox, to intentionally foul, you have to hold down the button with the little two squares. And on PS5, you have to hold down the touchpad to foul intentionally. The best times to foul are during inbound passes, so right here I get my first foul by just like hovering over the defender and fouling quickly. Right here, these backcourt passes are really good because there are no other defenders and no plays being ran, so you can get another free foul. There are more favorable positions to foul intentionally. Right now they are in the bonus, so it was probably a stupid decision, but I'm getting subbed out anyway, and I'm going to be put in at the beginning of the second quarter every single time. This method is very consistent, so I just know that because I've done this method a couple times. On offense, what I like to do is throw up a full court or a half court shot, and most of the time it's going to go out of bounds. If it doesn't go out of bounds, then most of the time the other team has the ball, but if my team gets the board, then that's when it gets really annoying. So if that happens, I just like to run the ball out of bounds myself, and that way the opposing team gets another easy inbound pass which I can just get a quick foul off of. After another 2 fouls, you're going to get subbed out, and the first half is going to be over. Last year, you could just get all 6 fouls in the first half, so it's kind of unfortunate that this year you can only get 4 in the first half. If you have gotten 6 though in the first half alone, then just let me know and tell me what I'm doing wrong, but so far I've only been able to get 4 fouls in the first half alone. But now we are in the second half, and these last 2 fouls are really random. So you can either get the 5th foul and then get subbed out again, or you'll be able to get both fouls and just sim the game after getting your 6th. Right there, I do it out of bounds because I don't want to throw up a shot and have my team get a chance at the rebound. So right now, they get the easy inbound pass and I just get another foul. I think every single time for your first game ever, you are going to get subbed out after the 5th foul, which is really unfortunate. It adds like 5 seconds to your total time. But I'd rather do this method and get 5,000 VC in 20 minutes as opposed to playing a normal My Career game and getting 1,000 VC in that same amount of time. But for my last foul, I throw up a shot, I airball, and the other team gets the board. I chase this girl down, and then I just get my 6th foul. And at this point, you'll be able to sim out with VC, which is the funny part. And we actually end up winning this game. I don't know how we did it, but I guess my team is too good. But right now, the game is over, and every single time at the end of the game, you're going to have this little performance thing pop up, but you can just hold A or X to skip that. I accidentally go into the game stats, but right here, bottom left corner, 500 VC in around 2.5 to 3 minutes. But I'm going to do the math. I know a lot of you guys don't like to do pointless math when it comes to video games, so I'm going to show you how much VC you could be theoretically making if you maximize the efficiency of this method. One WNBA season is 36 games, and one game gets you 500 VC. That means you earn 18,000 VC per season. On average, it took me around 2.5 minutes to 2 minutes and 45 seconds to complete one game. But for the purpose of making the numbers clean, I'm just going to round the average time per game to 3 minutes. So since there are 36 games in one season, and one game took me 3 minutes to complete, that means for the entire 36 game season, it took me 108 minutes, give or take, to complete the entire season. And that's not really realistic because you have to load into the games and you're going to lose time from going out of bounds and stuff like that. So let's just add another 12 minutes to make the time 2 hours for one season. 36 games divided by 2 hours is 18 games per hour. 18 times 500 VC is 9,000 VC per hour. Putting that metric into perspective, let's say you do this method from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. I don't know how much you guys are sleeping, but I'm going to be extremely generous and give you guys 12 hours. So 12 hours, you're doing this method in one day, divided by 2 hours for one season means you're doing 6 seasons per day. 6 seasons times 18,000 VC is 108,000 VC per day. That's it for me. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you found it enjoyable, helpful, I don't know, then consider liking the video and subscribing. It is greatly appreciated. But I will see you guys with my next upload. Peace.